Hi and welcome to a review of the SlingStudio. My name's Paul Allen Clifford here for Church Tech Today. The SlingStudio is a multi-camera live streaming and recording platform by Sling, owned by Dish Network. You can find my full review over at churchtechtoday.com, but in this video I wanted to highlight its ease of use and some of the pros and cons of this device. Let's start with the setup. To control the SlingStudio, you'll need either an iPad 5th generation, iPad Air, iPad Mini 4, or iPad Pro, or a Mac with macOS Sierra or later. Generally a mid-2012 or later Mac, but check myslingstudio.com for a list of compatible hardware. To use a smartphone as a camera, you'll need an iPhone with at least iOS 9 or an Android phone with version 6, Marshmallow, or greater. Although Samsung Galaxy S6s and S7s running version 5 Lollipop can do the job as well. Now for the setup. 1. Get your iPad or Mac. 2. Download the SlingStudio console app. 3. Get your smartphones and install the SlingStudio Capture app. Finally, connect an HDMI HD video camera to the camera link with the included HDMI cable. Quick note, have a spare camera link or a power source available because the battery gets 2 to 3 hours of life and isn't swappable. I'm using a Canon Vixia HF-R40 just for reference. You'll also want to connect external analog audio to the hub, maybe even HDMI from a computer or another hardwired source. The SlingStudio hub supports up to 10 sources, with 4 visible at a time. So if you want to use any that aren't visible, you'll need to swap out a visible one for one of the others during your production. Now let's take a look at switching sources. While I prefer cuts for most situations, there are other useful transitions you can use. Although you might not want to use a wipe transition unless you're shooting a Star Wars film. Some of the pros of this system are its portability, ease of use, and power. If you need to tweak the final video after you're done, the SlingStudio console app makes that a breeze too, if you use Premiere or Final Cut. Some of the cons are that it doesn't support alpha in videos or from live sources. Its interface isn't exactly standard and it can't crop any of the sources. You should know that because of the latency it introduces, this isn't the best solution for iMac image magnification. Finally, there's no dedicated hardware control surface either. Now, for basic pricing information, the SlingStudio hub is $999. With few exceptions, you should also get the SlingStudio USB-C expander, so add in $49 for that. With it, you can hardwire the hub into a network and use external USB drives. Depending on your application, you'll also want to use the camera link, which sells for $349, the battery for the hub, which is $149, and the backpack to store it all in and transport it safely for $199. Links to my full article on Church Tech Today are below in the show notes, along with my links to the SlingStudio product line. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this review helpful, but let me ask you, what would you use the SlingStudio for? Would you use it for capturing remote events without the hassle of running cables? Would you live stream your church services, controlling it from an iPad while seated with the rest of the congregation? Tell me in the comments section below.